Many of you may have heard that the French are protesting as of now. If you haven't, then welcome to the conversation. Grab yourself some fine tea, Monster works too, and let's begin. Now before we ask why this event is so important, we must ask why are the French protesting? If you've read the news, it states that they're protesting because their president, Emmanuel Macron, had raised the retirement age by 2 years. If you truly believe this is the only reason of protest, then I'd like you to hear me out. Because even though the French are known for their uprisings, images like this don't happen because of retirement age. So then why are these people revolting? First, I want you to watch a video.
This is just into CNN. The video you are seeing here, these are protesters in Paris who've stormed the offices of the investment firm BlackRock in the middle of the city. In the video, you can see protesters are chanting, waving flags, carrying flares. Smoke is filling the building. It is the 11th day of nationwide demonstrations against the country's new pension bill.
Hang on, a new pension bill? But why would a group of people of this size especially care so much about a retirement age? Well, it's in fact not all about the retirement age. Let's pull back the curtains a bit. Let's start by saying that the real reason the French are rioting is because of the corporation BlackRock, as they have recently raided their investment firm. But why now? All of a sudden, the French protested against the major corporation of BlackRock. To understand this, let's go back to the 1960s. In the US, the Vietnam War had been going on for quite some time, and it only truly surged in popularity and militaristic action during the presidency of Lyndon B. Johnson. Now we must ask about the justification of the war, which is mainly to stop the spread of communism. Simple, right? Not entirely. I find it unsatisfying when we have John F. Kennedy, a Cold Stone capitalist, had little involvement with the Vietnam War. And thus the question lies, why? Why now did the US care so much about Vietnam? Most will say that the US had to deal with the Cuban Missile Crisis first, then move on to Vietnam. But this push for Vietnam truly occurred after Kennedy visited Dallas on that fateful day. While not proven true, a real component for the war's extension would have been for the president's wife. LBJ's wife had a huge percentage of stock in the main bomb manufacturer of the US. One could theorize that the war was put on full blast so the bomb manufacturer stocks would have risen, making the Johnsons a ton of money. This would also explain why Vietnam and Laos are strangely the second most bombed countries in the world, beating out World War II by miles. It seems like the war was a front so the military could buy more bombs to raise stock prices of companies to line the pockets of the Johnsons. Now that we understand the influence of stock share majority, let's come back to the present. Notice that if you go to the majority of companies' stock share list, like Apple, Google, and Walmart, and most importantly, the majority of media sources, you'll see that the two companies appear at the top called BlackRock Incorporated and the Vanguard Group. Both are proven to have a majority stock in each other. At this point, you may be confused. So let's take a break and look at this funny cat. Oh, look at him, he's so cute. Okay, back to business. What does this have to do with France? For many years, the French media have been censoring the French people and their protest attempts. So once the riots began, they decided to inflict their problems into what is arguably the French biggest reason of all, BlackRock. Now these protests are intended to take out what the French see as a corporate-filled government, and they counter the government by doing what the French have done for centuries. In fact, these people hate their president so much they began to chant, "We beheaded King Louis XVII, Macron. We can start again." The balls on these people. But how is this? An insignificant revolt that isn't even being broadcasted is the most important event in the 21st century because of two major reasons. The first reason is that something like this hasn't happened in Western society for years, where a force of people will revolt against an institution, in this case a corporation and the French president. And two is the domino effect. And the unlikely event that the French successfully remove the corrupt corporation from their country, this can bring a new era of enlightenment. A point where Europeans who feel suppressed by major corporations can revolt and establish better, more favorable ways of their means of production. It can finally bring a true communist uprising to Europe. Nothing like Soviet or Sino-communism, but true communist ideals that are equal to all. The French have held the torch of enlightenment across Europe before, and now they hold it again. I should say that this title is a lie, because this is very unlikely and may just be a casual event. But if this goes through, it can be incredibly influential and important. And however unlikely this may be, France may just bring upon a total shift in Western ideology.